Hey everyone, welcome back to the Guppy Garage. Today we're going to be making some cheap and easy tank dividers. Let's get going. So we're sitting on the floor here of the Guppy Garage, and what we've got here is we've got all of the makings for a tank divider. We're going to be needing this probably here pretty soon for our 20-gallon long that we're going to be setting up for these beta fry we've got over here, or betta fry. We've got quite a few, male and female. They're doing okay right now together. We do have a bunch of them into the beta barracks as well, but most of the ones in this gallon, or in this 10-gallon over here, need to be moved into a 20-gallon long in order so that they have more space, so they're not as territorial. And what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be taking just this window or light grid plastic that I've had for a really long time. As you can see, it's got, you know, melt marks on it, and I chopped it up just to use them as like temporary lids for some of my tanks. Today we're going to be turning this into a tank divider using these little adapters that you can get off of Amazon, and that's pretty much it, just the plastic in those divider suction cups. So our 10 gallons are 10 to 9.5 inches wide on the inside. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting these to about 9 and a quarter, and then we're actually going to have to measure from the top to the bottom as well, so that what we can do is we can make sure that those bettas can't get over or under or around this tank divider. So make sure you measure twice, cut once. It's always a rule of thumb. So I'm going to stand up real quick. I'm going to measure one of my 10s, make sure I've got enough height on it, and we can get to cutting this. Okay, so it looks like it's about 11 inches tall, 11 and a half from the bottom to the top. And then it's, like I said, 9 and a quarter wide. And why I'm only doing 9 and a quarter wide is if you look at these, they actually have quite a bit of space from that glass to there. So I'm going to try to fit them in as close as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do about 9 and a half. And then if I need to trim some, then I can take some off, but you can never add any plastic back. So let's measure this. And this is all beat up and broken and has scuff marks all over it, and isn't the best piece of plastic anymore, but you know what? It's going to work perfect for a tank divider. And why I like this particular piece of plastic is that it is opaque, so the fish actually can't see through it, which is very nice, especially when you're trying to separate male and female bettas. You don't want them to see each other. This is really nice because they're not going to see each other, but it can still let that light go through there, so you can get light to both sides of that tank. I feel like this is a perfect piece of plastic for that particular setup. So let's flip this over, set our ruler on here. Now be very careful when doing this, as these blades are extremely sharp. I'm just gonna... Okay, so I got to do a couple more cuts. This particular plastic isn't the strongest stuff in the world, which is kind of nice though, because it is easy to get through with a knife or a blade or whatever you've got. So as you can see with that acrylic cutter, I was able to get a nice straight line across the whole top here. So that is 11 inches from the top to the bottom. Now we just need to go about 9 and a half across here. So let's do that. And just a side note, one side is bumpy and the other side is smooth. Make sure you cut on that smooth side because it is very difficult to cut through on that other side. As I just showed you guys, it's very difficult, won't actually even grab. Flip it over to the smooth side here. Let's just make a few cuts. Snap. Look at that. Nice, clean, straight line all the way across. And right there is our 10-gallon tank divider. So what these will do is these will sit like this on 4 sides. And then we will actually place it into a 10-gallon here and show you guys what it looks like in there. And then we'll be adjusting one for a 20-gallon long as well. I believe the 20-gallon long and the 10-gallon are a different dimension, so we're just gonna have to cut another piece. Luckily, I've got 3 or 4 or 5 more pieces of this because I did buy a huge sheet from Home Depot. I think it was $10 for the massive sheet, and I could use them for all sorts of things, which is really nice. So let's actually just throw one of these in one of my empty 10 gallons and show you guys how it fits in there. Okay, now, so what we've got here is just our male mutt tank. We're just going to be putting this in here just to kind of show you guys how this works. So what I like to do is put on one side first, tilt it in like so, and then that way I've got one whole side kind of secure in there. I like to put one at the very top and the very bottom so that I can make sure that those are both on there. And then I'll go from the other side here, kind of bend this plastic piece, slide this one all the way down to the bottom. Make sure it's touching that bottom down there because you don't want those betta or guppy or whatever you've got separated to go together. And then just make sure this one's up above the water line. And as you can see, there's a little gap on both sides here. So I just didn't cut this right for this tank. But if you've got bigger fish, that divider should be perfect in there. You can see that it is holding in place. Pretty strong actually as well. So there's not a whole lot of room for the guppy or the bettas to get out of here. You can push that right up against that glass on both sides. This was just a temporary piece just to show you guys how to do this. So yeah, that should be perfect for a tank divider in order to keep strains or water flow, or if you're doing a quarantine tank and you don't want multiple different kinds of guppy or breeding strains to get together, you can do it this way. There's lots of reasons to do a tank divider, but this is at least the easiest way that I have found to do it. Costs about $5, $6 for the massive sheet of the plastic, and then I'll put the link in the description for the tank divider suction cups as well, so you can get those, and I'll also put the link for the acrylic cutter as well, because I do think that makes it a lot easier when doing any acrylic cutting, instead of using like a box knife or an X-Acto knife of some kind. All right, everyone, so I hope that helped you figure out how to do an easy DIY tank divider. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, click on that bell notification so you know when I put up another video. And let me know if you have any questions on this. I'd be glad to answer any of them for you guys. Again, this is just an easy, simple way of doing it. There are multiple ways of doing it. You can buy them pre-built online. You can buy them from PetSmart, Petco. There's a bunch of different ones online. Through other YouTubers as well. This is just the way that I've done it, and I really like this plastic because it is opaque, but it still lets that light through, especially if you're doing it on a smaller tank or a planted tank of any kind. I do like having a clear instead of like a black with holes or something like that. So let me know if you have any comments. You can put them down below. You can message me through Instagram at GUPPYGURU. Have a great day.